What's up, movie fans? My name is ATNY. Welcome to a theater near you. Today we are talking about It from 2017. This is based on the novel from Stephen King, and it is a remake of the 1990s TV show that starred Tim Curry. This movie is directed by Andy Muschietti, is written by Chase Palmer and Cary Fukunaga, and it stars Jaden Lieberman, Jeremy Ray Taylor, Sophia Lillis, Finn Wolfhard, Chosen Jacobs, Jack Dylan Grazer, Wyatt Olaf, Bill Skarsgård, and Nicholas Hamilton. You guys, I want to start out by saying I don't really like horror movies. They're not my thing. I don't like being scared. I don't like jump scares. It's not my thing. I don't really like it. So I went into this movie pretty apprehensive, not knowing what to expect. And I gotta say, coming out of it, I really enjoyed this movie, actually. I was surprised at my own reaction that I liked this. A lot of people are going to make this comparison, but it stands so very true. If you guys have seen Stranger Things, the show that came out on Netflix last year, and you liked it, you're going to like this. You should definitely go see this if that was your kind of thing. It even stars Finn Wolfhard from Netflix, Stranger Things. And this movie nails exactly what that TV show got right, and that is making these kids come together as believable, enjoyable characters. This movie nails that, and the writing really should get huge props for that. These kids feel like real kids that would be roaming around in your neighborhood, riding bikes, spitting, trying to figure out how to flirt with girls, playing video games, reading comics. Like, these kids feel real, and they get along so well and have an organic friendship, and it really carries this movie through. I think what would be a normal kind of meh horror movie is really elevated by these kids' performances. So huge props there. On top of performances, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown is awesome. He's really scary and intimidating. He nails the physical performance. He nails the voice. The makeup looks great. We'll kind of come back to the note of what he looks like a little bit later on. But a really standout performance by Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown. So let's get into this movie. What is it about? Well, if you haven't read the book or seen the original show like I have, it is about a group of kids living in this small town called Derry. And it starts out with Jaden Lieberman, if you've seen the trailer. His little brother is chasing a paper boat, and it goes down the storm drain, and he gets taken by Pennywise the Clown that's hiding in the storm drain. It's in the trailers. I hope that's not a spoiler for you. And this movie really builds on the fact that there's strange events happening in this town. People keep going missing, and these kids start seeing the image of Pennywise the Clown. They start having their greatest fears brought to life, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. These kids band together by calling themselves the Losers because they're all bullied by the same group of bullies. They're all under the control of their parents. A lot of the parents in this film are kind of terrible people, and I don't know why. It makes sense for one character, and I don't want to spoil why, but it makes sense for one character why he has a terrible parent for the narrative, but everybody's parent is awful in this. And so these kids kind of band together, leaning on each other and trying to figure out what's happening and how to survive it. So that really carries this movie through, and I know I keep saying that, but it's very true. The cinematography in this film is pretty good. There's a lot of great practical effects and creepy moments in this movie that really set the ambiance for what they want to do. There's a few effects shots that don't really work, especially later on in the film once they start encountering Pennywise more and more. The director decided to make him more of a monster, and again, I don't know if that's how the original went or how the book goes, but he's more of a creature hiding under the costume of a clown. And the more the movie tries to make him more of a monster, the CGI kind of starts to waver a little bit. It has that kind of like smooth, under-textured appearance in a few scenes, and it does kind of kill the horror vibe and the fear a little bit, because at least for me, I just started noticing computer effect on an actor. There are some great shots with CGI though as well. You just see Pennywise and they make his eyes glow or his mouth will open up a little bit wider. That works really well, but again, you'll notice a few scenes where it's pretty much just CGI, and it kind of kills the vibe of this film. There's a lot of good scares in this though. It is very jump scare heavy, So there is that trope of like the violin music building and then silence and then and you're like, okay, yeah, that's going to happen throughout this movie. If that annoys you or if that's something you can't deal with, maybe avoid this one. There's not a lot of false scares, which is great. A lot of horror movies these days tend to rely on loud noises that shouldn't be that loud, and then the characters, they're like, oh, the door slammed, and they freak out. That doesn't happen a lot, so that's very nice. Another trope that pops up in this movie a lot is there is about 2 very exposition-heavy scenes where our group of characters will find a book or a news article or the typical horror movie stuff, and they'll just learn a ton of information that they're basically just telling the audience, hey, this is what you need to know. And that kind of kills it a little bit. I wish that wouldn't have been done or would have been intelligently woven into the story a little bit more. Another trope that pops up that's kind of a negative is there's the typical falling out scene where they have an argument and they break up and they're not going to be friends. How are they going to come back together? And then they have to come back together. And a lot of movies do this, especially horror movies. It's not necessary. I don't know why they did it. Thankfully, it's not for very long, but it still kind of made my eyes roll when that scene came up. But overall, you guys, I do want to emphasize this movie is really carried by its great writing and portrayal of our main heroes, as well as the very creepy Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown. So I enjoyed this one, especially as a non-horror fan. I really do recommend this film, you guys. I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. So thank you guys for watching. I want to hear from you guys when you see this film. So please comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Also follow me on Twitter. I'll link that down below. You can see some of my other reviews, including Logan Lucky, as well as my review for Wind River. Also, every Monday I like to do the news, cover the box office, how movies have done in the US, and look back at the week for the news stories in Hollywood, what movies are in production, what's happened, stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down below. My name is ATNY. This has been A Theater Near You, and I'll see you guys next time.